Welcome back again to She Say Tells. We know it's been a hot minute, but we're back. A lot has happened since we've been gone, and we promise to revisit some of these topics. For now, let's talk about the hottest trending tea. We're talking about Mr. Teaness himself, Edgar Obare, who finally dropped a website for BNN. This is where you can go, I guess, to get an in-depth or summarized account of all the gossip, drama, and people he's featured on his Instagram stories. But that really isn't the tea that we have about the tea master. We were able to catch his Instagram live session hosted by Xtian Dela, and we learned a lot of details about him that we didn't know before.
I'm not gay. Why are you gay? Why are you gay, Edgar? Why are you gay? People say you are gay. Why are you gay? Asked and answered.
These two guys ended up dishing a lot of unknown truths about each other, and it even got emotional at some point. But in this case, let's just focus on Edgar first. So, Xtian asked him that question that has now become a jab against Edgar's masculinity, I guess, whether or not he's gay. And for the umpteenth time, Edgar put this matter to rest by saying that he's definitely not gay.
Why do you hate Terence Creative and Jalango? I thought I've covered this. I don't hate them. I just don't like things they do.
Now, this is something that Edgar has really been criticized about. It usually comes across like he has some personal beef against Terence Creative and Jalango. And when it comes to Jalango in particular, at some points, Edgar seemed like he was going to cry. He really got emotional about it. But to summarize it, he just said that he doesn't dislike them personally. He just doesn't like some of the things that they do. And when it comes to Jalango in particular, he said that he didn't like the personal attacks that he was launching against Edgar's family. You know, he was trying to dig up dirt about Edgar, going to the lengths of trying to find out where Edgar lives, where his parents live, which to him was a little bit far-fetched. He thought that there would have been a civilized way for Jalango to respond to all the dirt that Edgar has exposed about him.
No. I do not know any of the people I talk about on my Instagram stories, YouTube. No connection. We've never met. We don't know each other. Never talked. So why would I revenge on people I don't even know anything about?
Another thing that Edgar clarified is the fact that he doesn't know these people that he usually exposes, which is actually quite an interesting dynamic, because most people usually think that he usually goes digging around for these stories. But if you're a part of the Obare Nation, you probably know that it's his fans, or rather people who are close to those who are exposed, who usually bring him this tea. So in essence, he doesn't really have a vendetta against these people. But he said that he's actually been a victim of an almost physical attack against him for something he posted. Early this year, he exposed Jackie Matubia's, I don't know whether it's an ex at this moment. And apparently when he was at Milan, yes, Edgar goes to Milan. That was another revelation. There's of Jackie Matubia's ex's pals who actually came and tried to accost him, but his buddies stepped in, and fortunately that incident didn't go sour.
I like a challenge. I like solving puzzles, and the whole aspect that I could help people who would not necessarily have a voice. So most of the stories I've run, it does have a victim and someone who did something wrong to the victim. So speaking up for those people who would have no chance of ever going up against such people. There's no way you do this and not be aware that this can hurt other people. And I'm aware. It's a consequence of it, and just what it is. If I didn't cover it, someone else would cover it, honestly. The ones I regret is the ones that I was lied to or misled. those are the ones that I'll probably have regretted.
So this was definitely a long one, and we'll have to come back with part 2. Some of the highlights for part 2 are: what is Edgar Obare's body count, how him and Xtian Dela go way back, and also where the current situation between him and Jalango in terms of the suing stands. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let us know down in the comment section if you watched that live, what was the most shocking revelation you had about Edgar Obare or Xtian Dela.